Right, now it's time to turn our attention to our products or services page. So obviously if you're a service provider, it will be the services page. If you're a product provider, it will be your product page. So having a look at the template, we can see that there are a number of issues that we need to attend to. So we've in fact got 6 different areas that we want to talk about. I'm going to spend a little bit of time here on how I've done it in this example, just to show you, because this can be a little bit complex, and I'm just going to give you some ideas of how you can actually go ahead and show that. What I'll do is I'll actually take you to the site itself in just a moment as I walk you through that. So let's just look at what we need to do when it comes to talking about our products and services. So the first thing that we're going to do, just to have a quick look over there, the number 1 over here, as you can see, is we want a powerful image, right? The whole thing with these images is it gives us an opportunity to invoke an emotion. So whatever that emotion is that's congruent to the type of business that we have and what we want our clients or our potential clients to feel when they're actually going through this section of looking at our products and services, that is the image that we're actually going to use, because emotion is the best way to sell. In fact, there's a saying that people buy an emotion and they justify with logic. So these images are very, very important. Then the next thing, of course, is, you've seen this a million times, the attention grabbing headline. And here's a little bit of a twist, okay? Not only do we want a headline, but we want either a sub headline or what we call a results focused benefit sub headline. So we're going to, again, we start off with a big benefit driven headline, and what we're wanting to do there is we're going to tell them what problem we want to solve for them. So if we have a look at this, you can see there I say ready to automate your client acquisition process. So that's exactly what they want. And then I just drop in there, ideal for busy people. And then again, I just drive that home and I say, too busy to get new clients online? Discover the exact 3 steps I use to do it in record time. So that's a very result-driven, benefit-driven sub-headline. Discover the exact 3 steps I used to do it in record time. The next thing we want to do is we want to get back into the story and the journey. So it's kind of similar in a way. There's some elements that we touched on a little bit earlier on the About Us page. But here what we want to do is we want to do it maybe in a more visual way. And obviously now it's going to be more directed towards what they're actually going to get from us when it comes to the delivery of our product and service. So again, just give them a quick personal greeting, a little bit of a summary of the journey to this point. And what we want to do here is we really just want to show them that we understand them. Okay, this is very, very important. And again, if you want, you can go ahead and you can include another picture or a number of other pictures as far as this is concerned. Not necessarily, again, of you being the stuffy corporate person, but again, maybe doing something a little bit more lighthearted, or maybe something that is more particular to the particular product or service that you're delivering. Now, a really good way to go through this is the 3 steps. Let's actually just go back to the template so you can have a look at it. And that would really be their steps 4, 5, and 6. That's what I want you to concentrate on now. And again, what we're doing is we're just asking questions. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit on their pain points. So again, we address their problems, their frustrations, their fears. And again, what we're trying to do is we're trying to resonate with them. And the best way for us to do that is to use the words and the language that our target market uses. So that's the first thing. So once we've done that, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to drive into their gain points. So we're trying to cover all angles, right? So we're trying to hit them where they're in pain, and also we're trying to actually take them into a direction where we're basically showing them results in advance. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to do what we call future casting. So what that means is we talk to their dreams and their aspirations, and what we're trying to do is we say, hey, listen, if you work with us, if you take our product or service, this is what you can expect once you've actually got the results that you're looking for. So if you've got case studies, that's quite a good thing to bring in here. Anything that can really show them how we can fulfill their goals and their dreams and their aspirations and their desires. And then once we've done that, of course, we go ahead and we introduce our solution once again. So remember, in the previous section, we really created a lot of pain. Here we're not creating pain, we're kind of just stating, hey, we address a problem, we address a gain that they want, and then we say, hey, our solution just coincidentally happens to solve both of those issues. So again, we tell them what we've got to offer, but we do this at a very high level, right? Because we can't tell them everything. We're just trying to whet their appetite. We're just trying to give them a little bit of expectation of what it's going to be like to work with us. So that's really what we do. You set the expectation by telling them again how they can work with you and what the journey is going to be like that they're going to go through if they choose to work with you and your company and to use your products. Now, let me actually take you to the website, because this one of mine is a little bit more complex than most, but I just want to give you an indication of how I've gone about doing it. So again, I've covered all of those points, but I've used a lot of visual images, and a lot of this comes from the coaching program that I've got, where I teach people how to effectively get a minimum of 2 new clients. And really what I'm doing here is I'm giving you that 50,000 foot overview. So we've already been through the big headline and the big benefit, and then I kind of go in and I say that it's taken me 7 years of practical online marketing experience and many revisions to develop the regular client blueprint, a system that gets service providers, and I'm calling out very specifically to the people that I'm dealing with in my business, a minimum of 2 new clients a month every month. Service providers tell me the number one problem is that they don't have a consistent flow of new clients. The regular client blueprint solves this problem. Come, let me walk you through the system. So what have I done? I've understood what their problem is. I've made the problem a little bit worse. I've told them that I have a solution, and now I'm saying, let me show you the 50,000 foot overview of the system. Now you'll see this is where I start to bring in quite a lot of imagery. So the regular client blueprint, you'll never have to guess what to do next. You'll always know the next step with world-class training by a fellow service provider who lives and breathes the system and gets results every day. So this is quite true. This is what I do. This is what I do in my own business, and this is how I represent things to my clients. And what you can see there is the one-page blueprint of the system. So what's really nice about it is they don't really know exactly what it means. They can see it. It kind of looks simple. There's one-word explanations everywhere. So there's a lot of intrigue, but it kind of gives them a little bit of an indication. So now their mind can start running wild. So what I now do is I break it down a little bit further. So now I'm just trying to give them a little bit more detail. So I say, look, there's 3 main steps. And you can see step 1 there is the foundation. Step 2 is the funnel, and step 3 is the finish. And then I'm just going to give a very, very brief 50,000 foot overview of what everything is. So the foundation is where you define your ideal client, craft a perfect service offering, while tying it all together with your magic message that will instantly resonate with your ideal clients the moment they see it. So that's an indication of what we're going to cover, but they've still got no idea how I'm going to do it. Then we speak about step 2, which is the funnel. This is about designing an automated online leads machine that will attract, nurture, and convert total strangers into paying clients. So again, they've got no idea what that is, but it's pretty cool. If you can take strangers and turn them into clients, that's got to be a good thing, right? And then the last piece there, step 3, is the finish, which is implementing your regular client blueprint so that you can automate and scale the process of getting at least 2 new clients every month. So again, I'm giving features and benefits, right? I didn't just tell them what it is. I'm telling them what the benefits are. Then what I've done is the last thing, just to round this off, is I say, look, go ahead and pinpoint where you are on the target market matrix and identify your next level of growth. And there's an image there that they can actually go through. And what's really nice about this, it does allow every single person to find out where they are, and they will then know that I've got a particular program that can help them. So I think you can see that I've created a very, very visual representation of the service that I offer. So while people don't know exactly what's up, they've got a fairly decent idea. And really what I'm trying to do is I'm not trying to get them to buy my service at this point. I'm trying to get them to the next step where they get to the point where they say, you know what, I'm intrigued enough. I think that James can help me. So what I want to do is let me get onto that discovery call and let me see if he can help me. And that's really all I want. This is what my whole website is designed to do, is to take people through answering as many questions as I can. But really, I can't, and you can't for the most part generally, sell somebody something just online, just like that, especially if you need to get information or you need to speak to them to find out a little bit more about the type of business that they actually run, so that you know what solution to provide for them or to propose for them. And sometimes you may not be able to help people, and that's also okay. You can then just tell them that as well. So now that we've told them all about the products and services that we offer and we've whet their appetite, hopefully we've got them to the point where maybe they want to start to do business with us. And this is now where we want to talk a little bit about our products and services and our pricing and our packages. Now, what you can see over here is a really good way for you to actually represent your products if you've got a number of different packages, and each of those packages maybe gets progressively more expensive because they get progressively more things. And you'll see this is often a tactic used by many different companies and many different marketers, where even if you've got a service, what they do is they'll combine a number of elements of that service into a product. Therefore, they can actually charge a set fee. And as you can see there, we've got in this instance a basic, which just in this example is $25.50 a month. Then there's a standard package and there's a premium package. And then of course you can see there where it says right here, an amazing benefit. What that is basically, that gives you the option to either list all the features that your product or service has, or that particular product has, or that particular basket of products or services has, and you'll do that obviously for each of them, so people can get an idea how to compare each of your products together, and they can make an assessment as to whether they think that they're getting value for money. So they've got a price. Then of course you'll recognize our nice red buttons there, which is our call to action button. It's got our particular color that we're interested in. It's the color that we've been using throughout to subconsciously tell people that there's a call to action and they should go ahead and click the button. And in this case, it's very clear. We tell them purchase. Okay, so there's no confusion as to what we want them to do. Now, what happens in the case where we don't in fact have something that we want to sell them? And I'm going to actually show that to you in just a moment when I show you my example, because I don't have the situation where I can necessarily sell this particular bundle of products or services. I actually need to take them through another step. I need to actually get them face to face, or at least I need to have a conversation with them online so that I can actually find out if I can help them, and only then can I propose my solution to them. So in many cases we need to have that intermediate step, especially for service providers, where we have to speak to people to make an assessment before we can actually give them the product or service. So let me just show you quickly before I go into the example the information here. So as we've said, you'll just fill in there whatever it is that you need to do. So if you do have something that you can sell and can present something, this is a good time to do it. And as I've said there, the pricing package is a pretty good way to do it, because it allows you to compare different packages with different features and benefits. Obviously, if you've got a lot of different products, well, go ahead and list your different products and services. And you may even need to have just a little summary on that page, and when they click on that page, it'll take them to another page that's got a little bit more information depending on how many products and services you've actually got. So let me just go ahead and show you what I did. So because I'm in the situation where I need to speak to you, what I've got to do is I've first got to take you through that intermediate step. So in this case, I've got to tell you what it is that we have to do to work together. And you can see that for me, it's a two-step process. So I need to get you on that strategy call or the discovery call. And there's a whole reason why I need to do that. And then step two is I then talk about the coaching process. So again, I'm basically selling results in advance. And what am I doing? I'm trying to sell the click, right? I'm trying to get them to click the big red button at the bottom there, which says book your free Get More Clients strategy session, because I know that I can't sell them anything until I get a chance to speak to them face to face. So this is basically getting them to the next step, and this is as close as I can get them before I actually sell them something. So that kind of concludes the section on getting them to buy our products and services. Now, once we've gone through all of that, what we need to do is give them more testimonials. Now, I think of all the pages that you can put testimonials, this is probably the most important. Why? Well, because we've just taken them through what our products and services are, and chances are if they're on this page, they're thinking about whether they're going to do business with us, whether they're going to buy our product or service, whatever it happens to be. And this is really the best place to show them the social proof, and the best social proof you can show them is what other people are actually saying about your products and services, particularly if they've actually got results. So again, let's just run through it one more time, although we've done it in each of the three sections that we've spoken about up until this point. remember, when they consider buying from you, they're going to be more inclined to do so if other people have given you a great review. So we're always looking for reviews online. We're looking to see if the products and services are good. We're looking to see if people are trustworthy. We want to know what it's like to deal with you. Is it easy? Are we going to get results? All of those things. So this is the time that you want to bring in your strongest testimonials, okay? And really the ones that you want here are going to be the ones that really are results orientated. Those are probably the best ones that you can have. And of course, sometimes we're going to have to slip in one or two testimonials that overcome objections, right? So that's important. You need to go ahead and put your testimonials in here. So again, if you don't have any, well, then clearly you can't put any in at this point in time. But what you might want to consider, instead of saying, well, I've got no testimonials, you've probably dealt with different people in your lifetime and in your business. Maybe you've dealt with people in different businesses. So maybe you can get a testimonial from them that talks a little bit about your character, a little bit about what it's like working with you, who you are, that type of thing. So that it's not that you've got absolutely nothing, but maybe the testimonial doesn't have to specifically speak to the business that you're dealing with now, the product or service, because maybe legitimately you just haven't been in business long enough to actually have those testimonials. But at least try to get something there, get people to give you some sort of glowing review. You really want people to know what it's like to work with you. So if you can, go ahead and do that. That's very, very important. By now you know that you can never leave people hanging. You know you must give them a call to action. In other words, you've got to tell them exactly what you want them to do. So this is your final call to action. Remember, they've gone through all your products and services. You've told them a little bit about it. You've shown them what to expect working with you. You've shown them some social proof. Now all that's left is to get them to take that final step. And of course, we never want to assume anything, so we want to make sure that we tell them exactly what to do. So there's three key pieces here, and those three pieces are to have a compelling headline. Again, you've seen this many, many times by now. Just maybe you can ask a good question or give something that's benefit driven. Of course, the second thing we're going to do is we're going to tell them exactly what to do. So give them the exact steps that they've got to follow to take the action that you want them to take. And at the very least, you've got to tell them what the next action is that you want them to take. And of course, the best way to do that, we're going to always end off with our call to action button. Remember, it's going to have our unique color, and it's going to tell them exactly what to do. And here's a nice little tip for you if you haven't thought about this before. And obviously this is the right place to put it in, because we're now talking about our products and services. You know, people like to sit and linger on decisions, and they don't like to make decisions. So sometimes what we have to do is we have to introduce some scarcity to basically say, hey, listen, make a decision now, because we face the problem that once they leave our site, they may forget about us, and they may even want to do business with us, but they just not quite sure, and because they're procrastinating, we may actually go ahead and lose that opportunity to gain a new customer. So really what we want to do is we want to try to push them into a situation where we create some scarcity. And let me just show you how I went ahead and did that. So if you have a look at it, you can see our 3 points there. So for me, I said we can work together either in person or online, and then I just go ahead and I say, well, do you need more information? Well, no problem. Simply schedule a discovery call, and together we can talk about your challenges and pick the right path for you. And then I say there, schedule a discovery call. Now, I haven't put scarcity into this particular example, but I actually should. And in fact, now that I'm actually going through this and reading it aloud and speaking to you, I've just realized that I need to go and build some scarcity. And now if you think about it, when I'm talking about a discovery call, there's genuine scarcity built into that. So I don't want you to make up scarcity. You must actually give them genuine scarcity. So in my case, if you think about it, because I'm doing these free discovery calls, it takes a lot of time. You know, each call can take maybe 30 minutes to 60 minutes. So there's only so many that I can do in a day. And remember, I'm coaching and I'm doing other things. I'm running my business. So really for me, I can only run maybe 5, 6, 7 probably tops throughout any particular week. So what I really need to do is I need to actually go back and change my page, which I'm going to go and do now, and say, hey, listen, you've only got an opportunity to book 5 calls a week, so don't delay because you're going to miss out. And that's a great way for me to put scarcity into this particular offer. So there you have it. That's our products and services. And of course, don't forget, we're always ending with calls to action. Hopefully you're going to be sick of calls to action by now, because remember, the call to action, that is what gets people to sign up to our lists. That's what gets people to engage with us, and that is what gets people to actually move to the point where they're ready to do business with us.